Hello everyone, welcome again in your science class. So in our today's video, we are going to start with our next topic of chapter 13, that is sound. And the name of the topic is we hear sound through our ears, right? As you all know that how do we hear sound? We hear sound through our ears, right? So as we know that the sound is the one of the most beautiful forms of energy, and it's the first thing that we experience in the morning when we wake up, right? Like sound of word, sound of an alarm clock, right? Like this we hear many sounds in the early morning. So let's understand how we hear sound through our ears, right? Actually what happened, the sound is produced in the form of vibrations, right? The sound is produced in the form of vibration, and it first enters the ears through the funnel shaped outer part of the ear, right? After that it moves down through an eardrum. Clear? And so eardrum is a thin membrane. What is your eardrum? Eardrum is the thin membrane of the ear that is stretched tightly, right? Eardrum plays an important role in the functioning of the ears. The vibrations produced by object reach until the eardrum through the air, right? And after that these vibrations produced to make eardrum vibrate, and the eardrum sends the vibration to the inner ear, and from there the signals goes to the brain. That's how we hear any sound, right? And important thing is that the eardrum is the most sensitive part of our ear, and we must never put a sharp thing into our ear because it can damage our eardrum, and the damaged eardrum can impair our hearing power, right? So this is how we hear sound through our ears, right? Now our next topic is amplitude, time period and frequency of a vibration, right? So amplitude and frequency are two important properties of any sound. Every vibration or oscillation has three characteristics, that is amplitude, time period and frequency. Let's first understand what is amplitude, right? So the maximum displacement of a vibrating object from its central position is called the amplitude of vibration. Means the amplitude actually tells us how far the vibrating object is displaced from its central position, right? Second is your time period. So time period is the time taken by a vibrating object, right? I am using here vibrating object, means you know that sound is produced by vibration. So that's why I am using here vibrating object again and again, right? So time period is the time taken by a vibrating object to complete one vibration, right? That is your time period. And last one is your frequency, which is also the major characteristic of sound. And frequency is the number of vibrations or oscillations made in 1 second, right? And units of frequency are hertz, right? Units of frequency is hertz. Now when an object makes one vibration per second, its frequency is said to be 1 hertz, right? And if an object makes 10 vibrations per second, right, then its frequency will be 10 hertz. For one vibration, frequency is 1 hertz, and for 10 vibration, frequency is 10 hertz, right? It is for 1 second, right? So because of these characteristics, the sounds are different to recognize. Means every object produce different type of a sound, and you all know this very well, right? And that depends on its amplitude, time period and frequency. Each object produce different sound. For example, girls have a different sound and boys have a different sound, right? So that's all because of the amplitude, time period and frequency of sound, right? That's totally depend upon these three characteristics of sound, right? Now our next topic is loudness and pitch, right? So loudness of sound is totally depends on the amplitude, right? We know that what is amplitude. So loudness of any sound is totally depends on the amplitude. So we can say that loudness of sound is proportional to the square of the amplitude of the vibration producing the sound, right? And the units of loudness is decibels, and in short form we can write these as dB, right? Let us see the table that gives an idea of the loudness of sound coming from different sources. For example, for a normal breathing, the sound produces the loudness of 10 decibels, right? And for soft whispering, that is 30 decibels. For normal conversation, that is 60 decibels. Busy traffic, 70 decibel. And for average factory, that is about 80 decibels, right? And above 80 decibels, the noise becomes the physically painful, right? And what is pitch? Loudness is determined by the amplitude and pitch, or we can say that shrillness, right? Shrillness and pitch of a sound is determined by the frequency of vibration. Clear? So, the frequency determines the shrillness and pitch of a sound. Means if frequency of vibration is higher, then we say that the sound has a higher pitch, and if the frequency of vibration is lower, then we can say that the sound has a lower pitch, right? For example, if we talk about the sound of a drum and a sound of a whistle, so out of both of these, drum vibrates with a low frequency and whistle vibrates with high frequency. That's why drum produces a low pitch sound and whistle produces a high pitch sound, right? So this is what is loudness and what is your pitch, or we can say that what is your shrillness. Loudness is determined with the help of amplitude, and pitch or shrillness is determined with the help of frequency of vibration. Now our next topic is audible and inaudible sounds. So audible sounds are those which can be detected by human ear, and inaudible sounds are those which cannot be detected by human ear, right? And the range for human ear, right, that can hear sound is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Means if the frequency of sound is less than about 20 vibrations per second, that is 20 hertz, and then that sound cannot be detected by human ear, right? So it means that sound is inaudible sound, right? And also if the frequency of sound is above than that of 20,000 vibrations per second, that is 20,000 hertz, or we can say that 20 kilohertz, right? So that is also the inaudible sound, because of this range sound cannot be heard by a human ear. If the range of sound is below 20 hertz and above 20,000 hertz, then that is inaudible for human ear, right? So the human ear can only be hear sound if the range of the sound is lie between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, or we can say that 20 kilohertz, right?